Wait, Augie, oh my gosh, play this before you do anything. Bitcoin Brown? Fuck is this link?
It's not clear what may have been taken, and no arrests have been made.
A 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl at the Walmart in West Mifflin Sunday afternoon.
Huh? What? Are you trolling me?
It's not clear what may have been taken, and no arrests have been made.
A 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl at the Walmart in West Mifflin.
Dude, not only did they show Biden when they talked about a fucking pedo. Look at this.
At the Walmart in West.
Can I get that freeze frame? Oh no! Are you fucking kidding me? Why? They made like 3 mistakes in one.
West Mifflin Sunday afternoon. According to...
Oh, Jesus. That's awful. We need to talk about Coach Red Pill. I'm going to start off by playing this clip that is unrelated to anything that we're going to talk about. It's just funny.
We're in.
Wait, actually, I'm so curious. Red Pill, why is it that at 51 years old, you only date women between the ages of 18 and 25? You don't think that's
Because
more
they're hotter.
pedophilia?
They're less complicated.
So at 51, you would date an 18-year-old girl.
I do. So
That's a pretty big yikes for me, man. Holy shit. Okay, sorry. Keep going. What were we talking about? Oligarchies?
do it. That's not my problem. It's your problem now, isn't it? If you can't keep a girl's attention,
You
what am I
have
supposed to
no
do?
idea what I can or cannot do. Don't cringe too hard here, bud.
Oof,
It's
I
just-
think I have a pretty fair idea of what you can't do, buddy. And you can't get the interest of a 19-year-old sweetie. Not you, buddy.
A 19-year-old sweetie? I'm sorry, but anytime we talk about Coach Red Pill, I just gotta play like the funniest clips of him. So Coach Red Pill, who, if you guys don't know, his previous content that is now delisted from YouTube and only lives in the form of YouTube archives. Coach Red Pill was previously famous for his, let's just be honest, his incel content. I mean, some of his content was literally about inceldom, advice for incels, basically. You can never be friends with a woman. Women are a game of numbers. If a woman cheats on you, suck it up. Never date a single mother. It's not on here, but there was one. Never date a girl who's raped. There's more. Understanding women is not misogyny. Men are more romantic. Dating an NPC. When a woman tries to gaslight you. Obsessing about a girl. When she says she needs her space. The starter girlfriend. You can't handle a real whammon. You can only get 3 things from a woman. The peaks of men and women's attractiveness. Show your woman you have options. Oh, that's a good one. Why nice guys attract whores and damaged girls. A woman cannot cure your loneliness. Never tell a girl that you like her. When smart men don't empathize. Strong, independent woman, ... smirk. Incels are sons of failed fathers. All right, out of all of these ones, maybe this is the one that's the most agreeable to the chat here, although I'm not looking. I don't know. Men admire other men, but women hate other women. Actually, honestly, I just think everybody hates everybody. I don't know if I agree with that one. Let's see here. Why men are fools. Women do not forgive sexual failure. Treat a woman like a nerd. What does that even mean? Never lie to impress. Use your loneliness. Should you share your feelings with a woman? Coach Red Pill on skanks. Coach Red Pill, never be yourself. Do you want to know what men want? The hard part is knowing what you want. Yeah? Yeah, buddy? Is that the hard part? Dating rich girls. Jealousy. Young guys with older women. What fathers are for. Girls with tattoos. Whom you can trust. The reasons to get married. How to handle the L. After sex, the truth is revealed. Women love watching you do stuff. The truth about blended families. Never date liberal women. Girls don't want to fuck their friends. Understand laziness. Why you should hate cucks. Unhappy girls. Loneliness is temporary. Adapt or suffer. A, a warning to pretty girls. Ghosting. On being a bastard. The faux alpha. Women want different men of different ages. The mainstream hates men. Happiness isn't a goal, it's a byproduct. If you were thinking about suicide, the only cure for loneliness. Dude, some of these videos sound like the exact same ones that the other ones were. Age difference and envy. Dude, some of these titles hit a little bit different after we just watched the clip. Okay, at this point, I think you'll get the point, okay? So that's his previous catalog, right? But he got demonetized off of YouTube. He got kicked off the partner program, so he delisted all of his videos, and now I think he just only exists on Patreon, right? However, he's made a bit of a comeback to YouTube, with the news of the Ukrainian-Russian war.
94 cents. Why do all of his thumbnails look like it's written with crayons?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I have no idea. I have no clue. Okay, so he's back on YouTube with war coverage, on-the-ground coverage, because apparently Coach Red Pill moved temporarily to Kyiv at the start of the war. Check DMs. Never date a victim of sexual assault. Never discuss a relationship. Never put up with a girlfriend's shit. True. Well, on the last one. Anyway, so he's back on YouTube, okay? With on-the-ground coverage of the war. What Russia wants from its invasion of Ukraine and why Zelensky is evil. So, in this video, he makes, from what I can tell, two main points. Let's just go ahead and take a listen here to the first one.
And so they want to capture Ukraine, change the political leadership of Ukraine, and install a political leadership that is sympathetic to Russia's security needs and is going to be a long-term ally.
Okay.
But they don't want to alienate the Ukrainian population. Because if they alienate the Ukrainian population, well, the Ukrainian population will eventually overthrow this puppet regime. And the Russians want to install a puppet regime. Let's not pretend otherwise. But
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
They want to install a puppet regime whereby the Ukrainian citizens are more or less indifferent to it. They don't want to install a puppet regime after having made the lives of Ukrainians so miserable. So that's why they don't want to destroy Ukraine or harm the Ukrainian populace. They want to capture Ukraine intact, change the political leadership, and then let it go, of course, because they don't want to manage Ukraine. They don't want it to be a burden on them. They don't want that long term. And so what are they doing? They are rapidly invading the whole country, and everybody concedes that they're moving very, very quickly. But they're not hitting any civilian infrastructure. They're only hitting military targets. And they are relentless in hitting the military targets, but always...
I don't know about that, man. They're only hitting military targets. Wasn't there like literal like live stream footage of them like bombing subways and shit where the civilians were like hiding, you know, specifically going, they're like terrorizing the civilians specifically. I don't know about that one, dog. Like, yeah, obviously they want to, I think that the first part of what he's saying, you know, what Russia wants to do. I mean, look, as somebody who's not fully educated on Ukrainian, Russian foreign policy, politics and stuff like that, just hearing him say that, I mean, it makes sense from Russia's perspective. Yeah, they would want a government that's pro-Russia. Yeah, sure. But they're only attacking military targets. But here's the deal, okay? I don't want to get into the weeds of like the, you know, the fucking discussion behind this fucking war, okay? Here's the reality of the situation, right? He's making this video a pro-Russian, anti-Ukraine government video from the capital of Ukraine. What is he thinking? Like, he's literally, like, he's going to get killed. I don't know, like, I don't know if I need to explain, like, the danger of what he's doing here, but okay, all right, interesting strategy. Okay, Let's move on. Let's go around to the 10-minute mark and hear what else he has to say.
And perhaps this isn't a wise thing for me to say while I'm still in Ukraine under the
Okay. Perhaps this isn't a wise thing for me to say.
And perhaps this isn't a wise thing for me to say while I'm still in Ukraine under the Zelensky regime. What really bothers me is that the Zelensky regime has no trouble causing a humanitarian crisis. In fact, they welcome a humanitarian crisis. They would love to see dead Ukrainians. And I know this for a fact. And do you know how I know this for a fact? Because the Zelensky government has been handing out AK-47s willy-nilly to the civilian population. As I understand it, they've already handed out 10,000 AK-47s and munitions to match. Now, you see, if you've never had any kind of military experience, you, with a weapon like that, you can become extremely dangerous to all the people around you and to yourself. It takes training to operate a firearm. You have to know what you're doing. It's not a casual thing, okay? It's not like in the movies. It's very, very dangerous. And you can harm yourself before you harm anybody else, and the harm you can cause to others.
All right, so I'll pause here and just summarize his point. So basically his argument for why Zelensky is evil is because he's arming the citizens, which is true. The government was sending out instructions to citizens on how to make Molotovs and use them, which is also true, right? And so he's saying, and he later on makes the point that they are forcing citizens to engage in combat, and that's why he is against Zelensky, right? Look, again, like I said before, I don't give a fuck about like his arguments or like, you know, the discussion behind that. That's for other people to engage with and debate with or whatever. The point is, all right, he's making a video that's anti-Ukraine within the capital city of Ukraine. So what do you think is going to happen, right? Well, he's probably going to set himself up to be in some pretty dangerous situations, right? And that's what happened, right? So he got kicked out, and he got kicked out of the hotel he was staying at. And so he moved to Kharkiv, right? And he tells the story of what happened in this stream right here. And keep in mind, the story gets a little bit more extreme as we go on. In fact, there's updates as to like an hour ago of what this guy really set himself up for. Like, Jesus.
If we're being really honest, hand to heart, I'm not really sure that the Russians did it.
Keep in mind, this is after the fact. This is after he got kicked out of Kiev. He has to make an emergency relocation to Kharkov, another town that's, you know, being invaded, right? And he's saying he doesn't think the Russians did it. Did what? What is he talking about?
I'm sorry. At this time, considering what the Russians have done and how hard the Russian military has hit military targets but abstained from civilian targets, considering how right now I am speaking to you in Kharkov, a city surrounded by the Russians, and I have running water, electricity, sewage, cell phone, internet.
Okay.
And you're telling me that the Russians, for no reason whatsoever, are going to fire a rocket right into the middle of the city, causing...
All right, if he's talking about like nuclear warfare or whatever, it's basically like the Hassan clip we saw earlier where he doesn't think there's going to be nukes on Ukraine and stuff like that. That part seems reasonable and seems true to me again, I guess. I don't know.
Needless damage to an important building. I forget what the building is, but it's an important building. Causing needless damage to an important building and handing a PR disaster to the Ukrainian Zelensky regime. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, just looking at it just does not make any sense to me. Okay? Especially considering that no other shell from the Russians fell anywhere close. It just does not make any sense. And by the way, the thing that apparently this rocket or shell was targeting was a Ukrainian army, one of these places where you can join, like a recruiting station. That's it. Sorry, Alzheimer's, the jab, all that. It seemed that this shell was targeting this recruiting station. Also, I find it very odd how, I'm sorry, again, you can say that I'm a schizo, you can say whatever, but
Yes, he said schizo.
It's very odd how perfectly framed the camera was to capture this missile strike or shell. Okay, I don't know. Let's assume it's a missile. It just seems too perfect that they were waiting for it, and it just doesn't make any sense because the Russians have gone out of their way not to hurt civilian infrastructure. I'm sorry, and if this makes me a Putin shill, fine. Call me a Putin shill. Call me a Nazi. Call me evil. Call me whatever. I'm a vampire, werewolf, evil demon from hell. But I mean, I'm sorry. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, it just doesn't.
The absolute balls on this man. You know, I'll give him this, okay? He's obviously got more nuts than probably every other political streamer that's covering this. You know, like, it is a little bit funny. And I've been enjoying the people that are streaming, like, you know, the camera footage and, you know, covering the war, you know, looking at the cameras and responding to it and reacting to it. I've been enjoying those streams. But is it not a little bit funny when you're watching a guy react to an ongoing war from the comfort of their own home, munching on food, smoking weed, doing, you know, just relaxing, kicking back, stuff like that? I don't blame the people that are doing those streams, or I don't think there's anything morally wrong with that. But you have to acknowledge it is a little bit hilarious when people are just comfortably, you know, reacting to the war. And while they are, you know, talking about how bad they feel for the Ukrainian citizens and stuff like that, it's just, it's a funny image, right? You know, Americans reacting to the war, right? Say what you will about Coach Red Pill, at least he's fucking putting himself in near-death situations for content. I don't know. I mean, the balls on this guy, you can't deny that he is at least 10 times more courageous than most of the other streamers that have been covering this. That you can't deny. Why he's doing this, I have no fucking clue. If it's for attention or if he just does not give a fuck. I don't know what it is, but it's fascinating. Again, you gotta love the internet for giving us situations like this. Like, what am I watching right now?
64 funded $5. The Ukrainians who speak English examined his video. His video is playing on state TV. The Ukrainians. Coach Red Pill, soon to be Coach Dead Pill.
Oh, that's not good. Well, yeah, that's the other thing, right? Because, you know, I was talking with somebody before the stream. I was talking about, like, do you think he's gonna get, like, killed or something like that? And, you know, person I was talking to was like, well, I don't know if, like, Coach Red Pill really matters. He's just some random YouTuber. And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's doing live streams with, like, 10,000 viewers tuning in, showing up. You know, he's making videos about, you know, how Zelensky is evil and how Putin is a supreme military strategist who just wants, you know, the good of Ukraine. He's making these videos that are getting like 600,000 views and stuff like that, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like that would put him on the radar. I feel like some people within local governments, I feel like they'd notice that. They would be like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't really think it's that out of the realm of possibility that the Ukrainians or even the Russians are looking at this guy and paying attention and noticing the shit that he's saying, because it is going viral. It is getting a lot of attention. He's gained a lot of subs off of this, and it's not just the internet. You know, these are not just some like disconnected YouTube videos that he's just making randomly that nobody's watching. Lots of people are tuning in to hear what he has to say about this, so that might put him on the radar there. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. So I think we've exhausted that clip. What does he say here? Is this what we just watched? This might be what we just watched. I'll see. I'll just skim over for a second here.
I'm not at all. And it could very well be that the Russians did it on purpose. And it could very well be that the Russians did it by accident, because people today don't seem to understand that a lot of death and destruction that happens, especially to civilians,
it could have been on purpose. It could have been an accident. We just don't know. This is a common strategy, and we'll go look into this, by the way. This is not the first time Coach Red Pill has operated under probability odds to come to the conclusion of his theories. I mean, this is how he operates, right? If he thinks that there's a possibility of something, he'll just, you know, shoot his shit. Not that I think he shouldn't be allowed to, of course. I mean, he can say whatever he wants, in my opinion, right? I'm just pointing out how hilarious this is. This is funny.
A lot of times it was unintentional. The people pulling the trigger had no intention of hurting, you know, the grandmothers and whomever who get killed. But it's an accident because it's industrial warfare, man. This is what happens, okay? So anyway, I'm not saying that it couldn't have been an accident that the Russians did it. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been the Russians who deliberately did it. I'm not saying that it's beyond the realms of the possible. It could be that some Russian lieutenant or whomever decided, you know, fuck these Yukis, man. I'm going to show them and I'm going to just, you know, bomb the fuck out of them so they know what's what and that I'm a Ruski and I win. You know, I got a bigger dick than them. Maybe that happened, okay? And if that happened and you show me, you know, trajectories and this and that, the other that proves conclusively that, you know, we shot from a Russian position, no problem. I'm not going to dispute it. At this time, it seems, no, I just don't buy it, okay? I don't buy it, and the motivation for one side is very, very clear for it to be true, just as it was very, very...
Okay, so this is reminiscent, right? Because earlier this morning, And I don't even know why I watched this video. I think it just showed up in my recommended, because Google listening to me. They hear me talk about Coach Red Pill on stream. They start promoting Coach Red Pill conversations. Well, I got promoted this conversation from Destiny. That was 2 years ago. And in this conversation, he was talking about, I believe it was election meddling. Keep in mind, this is 2 months before the election. But he was talking about how there has been a large prominence of wildfires in America. I believe the number he gave was like 1,200 wildfires, right? Whereas in Canada, around the same time, there was only like 4 active wildfires. So he thought basically that whether, I guess it'd be the state or Antifa or people that want to, add chaos or disorder to the political landscape, he basically thought that there was some of that going on there, right? And although he can't prove it, he simply says, due to the probability of it happening, it could be the case. Just take a listen.
Political takes in the middle of a war zone. Russians love him, the Ukrainians are pissed at him.
Yeah. He'll be okay, but it's a dumb idea to give hot political takes in the middle of a war zone. Russians love him, Ukrainians are pissed.
Just weird. A weird coincidence. So I'm open to weird coincidences, but when they're just like too many, it just seems strange. It just doesn't smell right. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not pointing the finger and being definitive about it because there isn't enough proof, but there's enough evidence to say this isn't a random coincidence. Mm-hmm. This isn't, just, and so when I hear people,
all right, let me dumb it down here for you guys, all right? He's noticing patterns. I mean, literally, though. So what else do we got here? 141. All right, this is the last bit of this, and then we'll go over Mediker's Twitter account. This is just so fucking funny, man.
It doesn't make sense. Okay? Simple as. But it makes a hell of a lot of sense if you want to have video.
By the way, I will say this. Could you imagine all of the random people that are tuning into the stream thinking that he's just some normal citizen in Ukraine or just some normal guy living in Ukraine just documenting his thoughts on the war? And then they go check out his other content and they're like, holy shit.
You can show in the West and point to Russian atrocities to convince people to join up in essentially a lost cause. Because at this point, it's a lost cause. Ukraine is going to fall, okay? And if you look at a map, the way it's going to fall is pretty simple. See, on the east side, you've got the Russian army.
They did catch a guy.
Well, Destiny was the ones talking about planned arson. That was Coach. Destiny was against that. He was like, I don't know if that's the case.
Busy building its cauldron, and it's about to close. And they're going to capture, 45,000 to 60,000. Hell, let's say that they're just 30,000 troops. That's a huge fucking chunk of the Ukrainian army. It renders it ineffective against the Russian army. Simple as that. And in the center, along the Dnieper River, you have from the south, from Odessa, from Kherson, they're moving north. And from Kiev, an air raid siren. From Kiev, they're coming south. They're going to link up. They're going to hold the whole center of the country. And from there, they pivot to the west, move decisively westward, and roll up the whole country. And that's that. And it's
and then 3 minutes later, the stream ends. Oh my god, dude. This is just, it's just too good to be true. Look at this. Julia Davis just saw this guy, Gonzalo Lopez, on #Russia's State TV. He's sitting somewhere in Kiev bashing Ukraine and the US while simultaneously praising Russia. He calls himself Coach Red Pill and filming American journalists eating at their hotel thread. So journalists start getting involved. CRP left a 1-star review on a hotel's Yelp page in retaliation. I was made aware that some of my video content was used as Russian propaganda. Was used for a Russian propaganda news broadcast. Due to this, I suffered some personal mistreatment in Kiev, as well as some death threats. Holy shit. We'll just go through Mediker's Twitter right now because it's honestly gold. Then CRP, that's when he went live with the stream that we just watched. By the way, it was his birthday stream. It's one hell of a birthday stream right there, I'll tell you. Stream starts. 14 drones filming coach in HD from different angles. Begin singing happy birthday. Vacuum bomb detonates in the background. So the stream goes on, and hotel management threw him out and told Coach Red Pill he didn't want any Putin propagandists in his hotel. Stream starts. CRP says he was thrown out of the hotel, claiming he was a Russian propagandist, claims he isn't. Spends the next 40 minutes saying Putin is a military genius and the invasion is the greatest in history, and Zelensky is a criminal regime. People in Kharkov are going to be mad that I said this, ... If we are being really honest, hand to heart, I'm not sure the Russians did it, end of quote. CRP on shelling of city center. He's claiming Zelensky is bombing his own people and blaming Russia for propaganda. LMFAO, he's saying Kharkiv was an inside job. Quote, if the Russians did do it, it was an accident. End of quote. And then CRP avoiding his Ukrainian neighbors after the live stream. I mean, what is he doing? Like, he is literally asking for it. Quote, I love Ukraine. I love the Ukrainian people. What else do we got here? Oh, an air raid siren. Hell of a way to end the stream. Where will Coach Red Pill go next? Oh, man. It is just, I think that's the... Oh, wait. No. We got some stuff from his Telegram. This is from 8 hours ago. Did they get him? Take a look at this right here, guys. In the next 4 hours, a photograph will appear of the Ukrainian flag in the Kharkiv center, billowing bravely in the wind, surrounded by smoke and fire, allegedly from a Russian attack. Clever. I'll be live in a couple hours. That's the link to the stream we just watched. The video was removed by the uploader. Wait, oh no, that's a different stream. Oh, you went live again and he deleted it. I wonder if somebody has an archive of that. That is interesting. CRP subscribers starting to worry since his scheduled stream mysteriously went dead and no updates have been given. Phil has told too much truth. What's his Telegram, please? Hi, man. Send a message telling us you're fine. Can you let us know on Telegram that you're okay? CRP is back posting on Telegram. Keep in mind, he changed the name of his Telegram. Previously, it was Real CRP. Now he changed it to his real name, Gonzalo Lira. And it's a political cartoon. We are just you. Is he making a run for it? Announcement. The light seems to be a little bit uncertain. If I go offline for an extended period of time, assume that it's because the electricity got out. Good luck. So all of this is like relatively normal. Nothing too bad has happened yet. Then he posts on Telegram a very strange message. I just set up reactions on the channel. Stupidly, I never realized how simple it was. If you want to react to the post, simply select the post by holding it with your thumb, and a simple menu will appear with several different reactions. Pick the ones you think are the best, simple as. However, if you use any other finger rather than your thumb, it will not work. Telegram, for some reason, only allows your thumb to do this particular operation. The screen of your smartphone will detect if it is another finger. And if it is, Telegram will automatically delete all of your data on your phone, all your contact info, automatically cancel all of your banking cards and credit cards, scramble all your passwords, and turn your phone into an unresponsive brick. So be very, very careful. What the fuck does that mean, coach? What's going on here? Now, a lot of people are saying that this sounds like a coded message. You know, I'm not smart enough to tell you for sure if that's the case. I mean, it obviously this message doesn't make any sense, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's likely that it is some sort of coded message, but what exactly it's saying, I can't say for sure. I mean, you can guess. No one has decoded it. Yeah, I mean, you can guess and speculate and theorize, but I'm certainly not going to. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Livestream gets canceled with no update. Suddenly posts on Telegram are going away for a while. More posts about finger operations bankrupting you. So he's dead, right? This is just some cleanup work to explain why he suddenly isn't online anymore. Rippin' pepperonis. CRP out there living a spy drama in the middle of a war zone. Internet is some wild shit. Can't wait for the next year when Boogie is the first man to walk on Mars. Went from alleged and in quotes to saw it happen. Look at this right here. In the next 4 hours, a photograph will appear of the Ukrainian flag in Kharkiv center, billowing bravely in the wind, surrounded by smoke and fire, allegedly from a Russian air attack. Clever. Then it looks like a few hours later, I was supposed to do a live stream today at 3 p.m., but around 1 o'clock, I saw a Russian airstrike on downtown Kharkiv. So that kind of took care of the rest of the afternoon. Then we got 2 hours ago. He really did run for it. I got out. I'm okay. I've never in my life been as relieved as I am at this very moment. Next time, Banderas says, thank God I took up smoking again. Now, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find his, let me see. I believe it's just Gonzalo Lira. Let me go to his Telegram right now. Let's see here now. Ukrainian woman speaking on French television, 3-part video. I love the part where Zelensky apologist says, oi, oi, journalists are killed in Ukraine, but they're also killed in Bulgaria and other countries, so it's no big deal. MFAO. I got out. I'm okay. I'd never in my life been as relieved as I am at this very moment. Thank God I took up smoking again. And then this post, I can't tell how old this post is. It looks like maybe like an hour. LOL. From now on, I identify as Bizarre Ranter. Oh, I guess this is from, what is that? Some news source. Watch video. Man goes on bizarre rant, claims evil Ukraine President Zelensky handed out weapons to criminals. So he's just going over like the media coverage on him. So that's the last we've heard of CRP.